Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. Now, the UK government, the Labour government, has announced that it's going to change the immigration rules. Believe that when I see it. It's all because they're running scared, of course, of reform and how reform are tackling the problem. But as it's setting out all these plans, it's become apparent that one of the things they're going to do is to exclude care workers from those entitled to come here. They're going to cut the visas for them. This, for some reason, and I think I know why, but for some reason, this has really annoyed John Swinney. John Swinney has branded it absolute folly. His words, not mine. He says it's bad news for the people of Scotland who won't get the necessary care. Now, the problem that John Swinney has got is he can't envisage care homes being filled with people who aren't foreign. Because, in his words, they can't afford to pay well, not in his words, but in his thinking. They've got to bring foreigners in to do it because they can't afford to pay Scots people to go into Scottish care homes. Why? Well, it's because it's actually quite a hard job. Looking after people is difficult. And when you get someone who's willing to come in and work for very low rates, it's effectively slave labour because you're getting work done that ought to have a lot more money to do the work because it's quite hard, but you're getting it at a cheaper rate by bringing in foreign workers. It still may be paid, but because it's paid so low, in below market rate, it's slave labour. The other problem, of course, is that most people in the care sector are paid either directly or indirectly via taxation, via the public purse, because either they're paid directly through the various forms of welfare and NHS or whatever, or of course they're paid privately, but a lot of the money that goes into these care homes is subsidised via councils and things. And his big fear is that there won't be the number of people necessary in the care homes. And of course, the only way to encourage people in is to raise the rates, raise the wages. And of course, the Scottish government can't afford that because they haven't got any money because they keep wanking it away on independence. They keep having to pay for all those foreign embassies and things. And so there will be no care homes in Scotland. And that's fine. Where necessary, all the people in Scotland who need care will either die, thanks to John Swinney's insistence on independence, or they'll leave Scotland and go to England and get the appropriate care there, assuming, of course, that there's any care in England. They're the options. And yet he's saying that it's the Labour government's fault. No, John, it's your fault. It's your fault for not being able to address a problem that's been a long time coming. And you've had your government in charge for 18 years. And for years you've been talking about getting this whole care system and care package unified. And you've failed to do it. What you haven't failed to do, of course, is produce all those lovely binders filled with the things you'll do if ever you get independence, which you're never going to get because Scotland cannot afford to be independent. And of course, if you weren't closing down and destroying all the oil fields, you'd have all that extra lovely money coming in. But you don't have that because you keep talking down the oil fields and people stop investing because you and your party are complete and utter knobs who listen to the Greens. What's the Greens' plan now for looking after the elderly in Scotland? Is it let's just burn them, or is that like equivalent of fossil fuel? Because that's where you're going, isn't it? You'll have no money, you'll have no people, you've got nothing because you're all bloody useless and you waste time on your obsession, the one obsession that's never ever going to happen. Independence is costing people their lives. Thanks very much. Bye.